Ryan here from Music City, Canada. I'm here with Jay Porter. He is the head of product development from Radial up in Canada. That's right, Canada representing down here at NAMM 2020. Jay, what do we got in the Radial booth for NAMM?
We've got 5 new products from Radial here at NAMM 2020. So the first product here is the PZ Pro. So this is a big brother to the PZ Pre, which we've had for a number of years. Acoustic preamp for the pro guitar player. So the original PZ Pre had dual input to a single output, and it shared an EQ across both channels. This one adds a second full channel of EQ, so I can tailor both inputs exactly the way you want, get the tone shaping you need. So some guys will use this with 2 guitars, do quick changes on stage. Other guys will use a single guitar with like a pickup and maybe a piezo or 2 different pickup systems. But also new for this product is a phantom power input. So if you're using a clip-on condenser mic like a DPA or something like that, you can power that with phantom and then blend that with your pickup on your acoustic. So full EQ channels on both, a mute, a boost and effects loop on and off, and then toggle between 2 channels. And then around back here we have a pre-EQ and a post-EQ DI box output. So the sound guy doesn't want to have the EQing that the player's doing on stage. They can take the pre-EQ and then the post-EQ can go to the monitors. So PZ Pro from Radial, brand new. Next we have a Hotshot 48, and the Hotshot 48 is a phantom power mic switcher. So 1 in to 2 outs. What this allows the artist to do is switch back and forth between different outputs. So if they've got in-ear monitors, you want to be able to talk to the guys, the other musicians on stage without the audience hearing what they're saying. They can hit the foot switch, talk to the other people, release the foot switch, and back to the front of house. This foot switch can be selected to be momentary or latching. LED indicators on the front, and then just a 9-volt supply, standard guitar pedal board supply can power this thing up, and it does provide phantom power to the mic, which means it's going to be completely silent switching, no clicks, pops, bangs, or otherwise. Next we have the BT Pro V2. So this is an update of our original BT Pro, which we've had for a few years now. A few different changes for this product. Number 1, we did a chassis design change, which basically improves reception on this thing, so you can go 100 feet no problem over Bluetooth.
Wow.
Gone to Bluetooth version 4, so it's a much better audio quality than the previous generation. And then probably the biggest thing is it can now be phantom powered. So the other one required an external power supply. This thing you can power up over phantom, so plug it right into your mixer, give it phantom power, and turn it on that way. However, if you still want to go line level and you want to go straight into a set of powered speakers, you can power it over a USB-C connection. And then you have a level control that can take this thing anything from mic and line. So just a nice, solid improvement on the original Bluetooth Pro. It's the BT Pro V2.
And Jay, what's the Canadian map on this product? Do you know?
I believe it's $299.
$299.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then for those who don't want to trust wireless, as we know, sometimes Bluetooth can be a little less than reliable, when, especially if you're in a big venue with 1 million people trying to connect to things on their phones. The USB Mobile is that solution. So this allows your phone or tablet plug in with a USB-A connection and then give you a nice solid XLR output. This thing does require a power supply because it does give a quick charge to your Apple device or to your Android device out through the USB. But again, it does have a level control. It can take it anything from mic to line level. You've got a mono sum and a ground lift. But again, just plug in any device. It's Apple certified, so you plug in your iPad Pro or your iPhone or Android device, plug it in. Automatically your phone should see this as the sound card and output a high quality audio for anybody doing, soft synths, playing back tracks from their device, anything where they need to get audio off of their phone in a really high quality. The USB Mobile will do that.
Amazing.
What we're calling our new flagship direct box is the HDI. So this is your really high-end studio level DI box. Of course, some guys will use it live, but really targeted towards the studio crowd. Radial's always been known for really, really clean DIs that don't mess with your sound. We decided to mess with the sound a little bit and give something that musicians can play around with and have something that's really fun. And it has a level control and a color control. And what we have inside the box is a custom designed, custom wound Jensen transformer that's intended to be saturated. So the more you turn up the color and the more you drive level into it, the more this transformer will break up. So with color all the way down, you can end up with what's been the cleanest DI Radial's ever produced. But as you turn up that color, it'll start to drive that transformer into saturation, and you can really, at the highest level, the color all the way up, you can end up with like a Rage Against the Machine bass tone out of this box. So really a lot of fun. But the idea behind it is you start twirling knobs, and within 10 seconds you've got a sound that's really awesome. Works great on bass, works great on acoustic guitars. It also has the presence control. What the presence is basically like a wet dry between your saturated and not. So as you really drive up the saturation, you can turn up the presence and bring a clean signal up underneath that that kind of overdriven sound and get that nice note definition, especially with acoustic guitars. So it doesn't sound like you're going through an overdrive pedal. It just has this nice warmth and grit. You know, vintage gear, everybody loves the way vintage gear sounds. The reason they like the way it sounds was big honking transformers that could be driven into saturation. So that's what we're doing with this box. Also has an opto compressor built in. It's a couple different ratios of opto compression to kind of take over the little peaks. And then you have a line output, XLR, so you don't need to go into a mic pre. You have a mic output, which has a Jensen JDI, radial JDI transformer in here. So there's actually 2 Jensen transformers inside the box. You have a processed output, so that is, go through all this circuitry and you want to hear that through your amp, you can go with the processed. Otherwise you can use the through around front if you don't want any of this circuit going to your amp. We added a mini jack for the synth input guys. So anyone doing modular synth stuff, this is a really fun DI to use in that world. So they can plug straight in with their mini jacks. And then a input that they leave hardwired if you're rack mounting this. And then thankfully no wall wart. IEC power cable, so internal power supply to be built in. Rack mount kit included. You can rack 2 of these side by side. You know, the nice pretty features like a illuminated VU meter, nice milled aluminum faceplate, and just, you know, high end, nice chunky switches, step potentiometers, just a DI that we're really proud of, and we're really stoked to hear people or have people hear it. It's a lot of fun and sounds awesome. So it's the HDI from Radial.
Awesome. Everybody, check out MusicCityCanada.com for this, all of the new Radial products, as well as all the Radial products. Us at Music City Canada, the whole team there, we're a big fan of Jay, a big fan of the team at Radial up in Canada. We love representing Canadian products. We love selling Canadian products to Canadians. So please, not only check out the new products on our site, but check out all the Radial products on MusicCityCanada.com. And check out all the rest of the videos all weekend long on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We'll see you online. Cheers.
Cool.